Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I wouldn't be doing a report at 6:20 in the morning. Um, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys, you can't literally go to sleep. I mean, seriously, you can't sleep on them. You go to sleep, shit happens in the middle of the night. Well, as expected, the NFL has filed their counter to Zeke Elliott's restraining order, which will be the hearing that goes off today at 5 o'clock. Now, today is actually going to be a really, really big day because Harold Henderson, who has to go through 3 days of testimony, 25 hours, and come up with a response by 4 o'clock today in order for for Zeke Elliott to be still suspended for this week. So if he does not come up with that response by 4 o'clock today, then Zeke is playing regardless of what happens to the hearing. Now, what the NFL has done is they basically saying that the court system and getting involved in this matter would be going against the collective bargaining agreement, and in past cases such as Tom Brady's, that the courts ended up being, not changing anything, so to speak. However, the difference on this one is the NFLPA has built a case by discrediting Tiffany Thompson completely. I mean, completely, and bringing more and more witnesses that they can prove that to the court system. Basically, they're going to go to the judge and say, Judge, here's the 160-page report that the NFL said was a thorough investigation. Yet we have the witness who was in a fight with Tiffany Thompson who said that she ended up beating the heck out of her, putting the bruise on her. There's other witnesses that saw them that night and said that they did not see any issues with them at the bar or this party or anything like that, other than Tiffany Thompson saying, I'm going to ruin her. Then we've got Zeke Elliott basically saying all of these things that he did that cast a poor shadow on him back in college, from getting her pregnant to drug use and things like that. Things that happened before he was employed by the NFL, so the NFL can't go for him after that. So Zeke Elliott is not clean in this situation. But if somebody will go through and tell you the truth of things that you don't want the world to know, that goes to credibility. Tiffany, on the other hand, has doubts from the lead investigator, Kia Roberts, who's basically saying, you know what, your story doesn't match up to her directly, and ends up recommending that, hey, there's nothing here for us to be able to do anything with, and not recommending a suspension. So the NFLPA, and then of course we've got Tiffany and the Lucky situation basically saying, going after Zeke and letting him know that she's sleeping with a teammate. To me, that sounds like a woman scorned who's definitely vengeful. It's actually really sad, to be honest with you, because in the end, nobody looks good. And this case will solve nothing. Tiffany, she'll be scarred forever. She'll be forever being known as the accuser of Zeke Elliott, and she's been run through the mud. Zeke Elliott definitely has hurt his brand and his name with this whole situation. He may end up winning and ended up not being suspended, but his name is out there with all of these things that you don't want to be associated with. You can't say endorsers going to line up right now to have that guy sell their product because of all these allegations. And the NFL looks completely out of control. The NFL looks like they've totally overreached and just have a personal vendetta against him or the Dallas Cowboys or Jerry Jones or whatever. Because in other cases that there's definitely been domestic violence, they've never gone after somebody this hard. With this case, and the difference with these other ones is there were convictions of these guys. And I understand that, hey, let the court system do their thing. If they convict a guy and find somebody guilty, that's where the NFL should say, okay, we're going to suspend them. But for them to be the investigators, I'm sorry, that's just not what they want to do. I know I wouldn't want my employer to try and be investigators on something if I did something. I'm sure you wouldn't want yours to be. Because that just bypasses our whole American judicial system. But then again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll and a day job. But going on a little short trip, and I'm hoping that you guys will follow along. It's going to be important and give you an idea of something that I get involved with that's very near and dear to me that relates to all of us. So be sure to follow along. And also, too, I'm ordering those shirts today. So if you want, like a 3X, 4X, or extra small or mediums, go ahead and let me know today, because that way I can have them made up and have them sooner than later. So, as always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. And again, the NFL has filed suit against the NFLPA suit, which has filed suit against the NFL for the suspension. Whew, that's a mouthful. All right, I will see you guys soon.